Hey friends, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully well. Well, let me tell you, we're looking at a seriously messed up situation here because of the Ebola thing. Our president has signed an executive order, and I believe they plan on pulling the trigger on medical martial law. Sad as it is, this thing could be real, it could be fake, it could be a false flag. I'm not sure. But let me tell you, the martial law, the loss of rights, the confiscation of firearms will absolutely be real. And aren't none of us going to like it. Ebola, this thing, is one thing among many that our nation is faced with right now. We are inundated with disease, especially along the southern border. There's a lot of things right now. The United States is a powder keg, and it seems like the powers that be are doing their best to set off a civil war of some type so that they can get us to fighting, so that we won't be we won't be helping each other, so that they can come in and take over and just take us down, out, whatever. But the CDC quarantine situation, this is some serious business. Our military's headed over to deal with the situation, unprotected, most of them. The president has called upon a SWAT team-like quick response unit to go out there and deal with the situation. Quarantine, whatever. Use of deadly force authorized. That's right, friends. Did Obama co-sign a U.S. genocide? Well, it seems like he very possibly could have just done so. Not today, but back before this thing ever started. I believe this thing may have been introduced. I believe that patient number 1 may have been given a wad of cash and said, hey, U.S. has a cure. Go. Go get fixed up. And he had some help getting back to the U.S. and starting the Ebola thing here, so that they could pull a false flag, terror situation, medical martial law. Now, we've seen false flags before: Boston bombing, Sandy Hook, Aurora, 9/11, the Pentagon, you name it. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. This is for real. Here's a little thing kind of displaying the Illuminati situation here. And I do believe they are involved behind the situation. Homeland Security terror threat level. Hysterical, exaggerated, fabricated, suspicious, specious, unsubstantiated. That's what we have right now. We can't trust the media. I think it's very, very interesting that the Illuminati game playing cards are almost like cue cards for these people, for those who are in power right now. Because, I mean, you know, this game was made, these cards were printed before this stuff happened. Oh, I missed the good one. Right now, I believe there's plagues of demons in the White House. Those who are running our country right now, I believe, are evil. Personally. Quarantine. We're seeing that happening right now. And I fear we're going to see it on a very, very high level like we've never seen it before. And firearms in this mix are a bad thing. They will confiscate firearms and our guns. Because this don't just apply to someone who goes and gets sick in the hospital. This executive order that was revised, and it was revised from President Bush's law, signed by Obama, to include not just SARS, but all kinds of, any kind of a cough, fever, any kind of sickness, disease that could be fatal and contagious. I believe, personally, that Obama is the person here in this card here. I think that after this election, coming up November, just right around the corner, I think that he's done. I don't think he's going to do anything. He's going to play golf and fool around for the rest of his term. Everything is going to be blamed on him. And he's not going to be... He's not going to do anything. Except for what's necessary. He's their fall guy. He's their patsy. The Judas. We've seen International Weather Organization, earthquake projector. We've seen these things. Nuclear accident. Can anybody say, oh shoot. Fukushima? Yeah. It goes right along with it. I think this one was interesting too. Egyptian, Obama. I think it's interesting they portray him to be the risen from the dead King Tut. He does have very much similar looks to him. And these coffins. Is this what these coffins are for? Ebola virus martial law, medical martial law. And this is going to be handled by the military, police, and those who are going to feel a rush of power in their belly, and they're going to feel strong and powerful for an instant. But they'll be the end of the list. They're on the list too. They're just at the end when the work's done. Here is the Ebola police. These guys are going to be going forth, finding the sick and isolating them from the population, finding out who they've come in contact with, and isolating them and putting them in FEMA camps in detention. Martial law has already happened in Boston. We've already seen it. with no resistance at all from the public. It scared the hell out of people. You know, when those with superior firepower come out in force, it scares the hell out of people. But never forget, we outnumbered them more than 10 to 1. It's more like 50 to 1. And we have our own firearms as well. And that's what they're afraid. You know, they've been, that's basically what's kept this at bay so far, is that they haven't got our guns yet. And they're going to still try to go after them. This Ebola thing could very well be the key to it. Whether it's real or not is beside the point at this time. Ebola can be contained. Well, what makes us different than all these other countries? That it hasn't been contained in. Matter of fact, it can be worse here because we have modes of transportation that they don't have there. U.S. Ebola response team. The Pentagon prepares quick strike team. 30-person military team with 5 doctors, 20 nurses, 5 trainers, and can deploy within 72 hours. These guys are ready to go. Obama signs Executive Order 13295, detain or quarantine Americans who merely show signs of respiratory illness. That's right. He sure did. And now he has the disease to pull the trigger on this executive order. He does. And they can confiscate anything they want. Cell phones, electronic devices, you name it. But go check it out. I'll leave all the links below for this thing. And it is revised from what Bush put into effect. Cholera, diphtheria, infectious tuberculosis, plague, smallpox, yellow fever, and viral hemorrhagic fever. In other words, Ebola. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, which is a disease associated with blah blah blah. Secretary's directions shall determine wherewith a particular condition it constitutes a threat. That's the Secretary of Health, who is also in control of Obamacare. Now they're talking about whether or not to even treat Ebola patients because it's so, absolutely so contagious. You know, when a person coughs or sneezes, small particles of body fluids go out into the air. So it is absolutely airborne in close proximity. If you are coughed on with someone who has Ebola, you will get it. It's not a question of if, but when. Or how, with a cough or a sneeze. But this is the executive order here. You see it from the White House, Office of the Press Secretary. Secretary of Health and Human Services, and with the Acting Surgeon General. This order is not intended to or does not create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law or inequity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. The authority granted by law to an executive department, agency, or head thereof. I mean, go through and check this out. Severe acute respiratory syndromes, which are diseases that are associated with the fever and signs and symptoms of pneumonia or other respiratory illnesses, are capable of being transmitted from person to person. And that either are causing or have the potential to cause a pandemic, Ebola, or upon infection are highly likely to cause mortality or serious morbidity, Ebola. So that's not just SARS. It is anything that is the hantavirus respiratory syndrome. I just did a video. There's anthrax is popping up in Texas now. Lots of things. And it's interesting that it's in Texas, right along the border, that all these terrorists, all these Islamic terrorists are coming in to the United States and are bringing with them as much death and destruction as they can to us infidels, to the Christians, us Christians. And, this is for real. Fatal false flag. Ebola will be used to implement martial law. I absolutely believe that could be possible. It could absolutely be the case. Is America headed for a widespread involuntary incarceration due to Ebola biowarfare? Because they have a patent on this thing. I've done a video on that. It is bioware for warfare. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue tonight. But it's sad. It's just sad. Prepare, guys. Prepare. Because I'm afraid this is coming our way faster than we know. Medical martial law declared in Sierra Leone. Are we next? Is the question mark. Very good possibility. Every person who prepares is one less person who panics in a crisis. Absolutely. Prepare as much as possible. Those who prepare will not fear as much. So, with that, I will end here. I'll leave the links below. I hope everyone is well as can be. And, share this information to your loved ones, friends, family, whoever will listen to you, because this is important. This is one more thing added to what we got going on in the U.S., which, like I say, is a stick of dynamite that is old and is sweating nitroglycerin, and the slightest bump could set it off. We're fixing to have millions of illegal immigrants being given amnesty. We have serious problems with not being told the truth. We have the mainstream media trying to stir up a racial war. And we have these diseases and ISIS, who is being supplied with weapons, ammunition, and anything else they need by our government and our president. Thank you, Mr. Obama. Or Mr. Sotero, whatever you want. Barry Sotoro. Yeah, that's it. Or whoever you want to call him. Well, whatever you want to call him. Anyway, good night all. This is Chatty Dad 1. God bless, good luck to us all. Never give up your guns. It's going to save your life one day. I would never want to have to pull the trigger on somebody, but I will do, protecting myself or my loved ones, friends or family. And they want control bad, and they're gonna try to get it. We gotta stand fast, all hands on deck here. Keep a good eye out and an ear open. Buy all the ammunition you can, if, where, when, and how you can. Prep as much as possible while you still can. This is Chatty Dad 1, over and out.